Sanibonani, Molweni, Dumelang, and welcome to yet another exciting edition of your favorite youth talk show, Konale Soweto TV, Sistas. Ningalibale ba Sistas ilomqobo where we share our experiences as young women khona apha ekhlalen. Ngegama mina ndikuvike xwala. Inkosi kakhulu for joining us in our topic of discussion namhlanje. So as we all know, on the 1st of December, the world observes a World AIDS Day. This is where we take our attention and efforts to HIV AIDS. And approximately 1,000 people a day pass away because of HIV and AIDS. So namhlanje like Sistas, we're turning things around and we want to find out as young people, are these campaigns effective? I mean, we know the government pours all their resources into HIV and AIDS campaigns as well as funders. But namhlanje as young people, do these campaigns work? So our topic of discussion namhlanje is, are campaigns around HIV AIDS effective? And in studio, I'm joined by two beautiful guests, and we'll be speaking about that. Won't we be doing that, guys? Yes. So how are you guys doing? Well, thank you. So before we get into the topic, I just want to find out and what do you guys do?
Okay, my name is Amanda, I say Dube, and I go to school at Waverly Girls High School.
All right.
I'm doing my matric this year, so yeah.
Okay, cool.
That's what I do.
And for you?
Lisha Kwazulu sibongo ngiqhamuka kamhlaba yalingana emanguze KZN ngiqede last day isikole, so this nje ngisazama ukuthi ngihlanganise nami.
Okay, nice, ladies, nice. So says as young people, because obviously we are concerned about where our country is going, especially with HIV and AIDS. But what HIV AIDS campaign have you seen? Can you just describe it for me? That stuck out in wow, this campaign has been done, just describe it for me.
Intersections, which played on Tuesdays, and was very effective because you could see how people's lives are joined together, and some of them were infected and some of them weren't, and it was really effective because some of them slept with each other without using protections, and you could see how the virus was spreading. So that was effective. Some of them were pregnant, and I as a young girl can see so if I date so many boys, this could happen because I don't know who my partner has slept with, and when we sleep together, we're joining, such nice things, but at the end.
What stood out for you, Ngayo? Because obviously I think it was a great campaign. I mean, myself, more than any other campaign, Nam for me, it stood out for me. And I know on social networks were going crazy. Sure. But especially for when, what stood out for you, Ngayo?
It stood out because, I go out, I've got a social life, I go out at night, so I could see what other girls go through. Although I go home safely, but then I could see that some girls get into date rapes and how guys persuade you into sleeping with them. So that really stood out for me.
I think it's the same question for you. What campaign stood out for you? And
njengoba seshilo lana sisomncane ukuthi nami intersections eyanginikeza umdlandla bokuthi ngibhekele yabo intersections uyabona ukuthi kunamantombazana amancane umuntu afika athana nomfana engazi ukuthi lo mfana lona unani okunye ubuye ubone ukuthi uzothana nalomfana lona kade wayethana nobaba wakhe eqaleni kodwa engazi ukuthi ubaba wakhe uyabona ukuthi ugcina usuthana nalomfana lona ingculazi ihamba iya cycle, it's a cycle like indlela eyenzeka ngayo manje uyabona ukuthi nje ingculazi ngeke uzuyitshela ukuthi hayi njengoba ngithana nalona angeke ngize ngithole
ayibhalwanga phela noma kuphi. But njengoba sisixoxela kabanzi, I mean, especially because so bathathu siyavumelana ukuthi okay, yes, this is the campaign esiyaziyo kakhulu edume kakhulu. But what are we saying about amanye ama campaign? Because obviously akhona amanye even before intersections ibikhona. So what are we saying about the other campaigns? Are they not effective? Are they not speaking to us as young people? You
know what I think? There was Soul City, right? Soul City, yes, gave us the information that we want, but then intersections dealt with everybody and lifestyle yamanje, because most of us have social lives. We go out, we party, and we see things that happen at home, Abu Baba to the maids, So it dealt with all of that. Whereas Soul City, bands are about only in hospitals. So I think intersections brought out what's really happening in real life in our society today.
And especially as young people, we like to be, you know, realistic about izinto. And mhlambi ukuthi it's not ukuthi the other campaigns are not effective. It's just that they're not as real. I mean, because with TV, bazosbenda in a nice light. Whereas when it comes to campaigns like that, yinto enzakalayo, it's because you've gone through that yourself. That's why you look at an episode and be like, yo, I want to go next week. I mean, for me personally, a campaign that stands out is Azi, you know, where you have to know your worth. And it's a great initiative because even if it's a snippet, if it's the advert, already you're drawn to it. It's storylines are it's like, wow, you know, even the way bahlanganisa ngakhona. So for me, also that's something that stood out. But for when I'm especially with campaign, okay, besides gay intersections, that's the one that stood out in our minds. But besides that, do you think young people, because it affects our future, do you think that young people are then used campaign? Are the creative processes, do they use abantu abasha?
Ngasho ukuthi bayabasebenzisa kodwa kaningi basebenzisa abantu engasengathi sebakhulile kancane. Okusho ukuthi izingane lezi manje ubona ukuthi ezikoleni izingane ezisema primaries ezino 12 11 seziyaqala ziyajola ngoba ziyasho ukuthi hayi lezi zinto abakhuluma ngazo ku TV akuzona ezethu. Manje lokho kubalekile ukuthi babuye kakhulu bafake izingane ezincane ezi primary level ukuze nabo bazokwazi ukuthi into eyenzeka le TV nabo iyaba include bangaboni ukuthi ngathi bangaphandle.
So do you think we should start educating each other, the government, when we're 12, 13? Okay.
Yes, because children from the age of 12 can start having sex. So they should start educating them now because most of them, they indulge in sexual activities and then they get pregnant and they don't know what to do. So I think if we can have more campaigns that will deal with that, educating the younger people, because I think us as teenagers, we know these things because we watch TV, you know, and most of the TV programs are above 18.
And you experience them as well. Hey, yeah. So tell me, you know, it would be interesting to find out, Tuguti, what is our understanding of the HIV AIDS? As a young person, what is it? What is AIDS?
It's a deadly disease, which you can get from anyone at any time. It's just that when you have to protect yourself, and you mustn't have that mentality, which it won't happen to me, or I trust my boyfriend, he won't give it to me. So I think HIV is a very deadly disease.
So it's a deadly disease for you. And then for Wena?
For me, I think it's a carelessness disease. Like when you're doing things that you see that can make you to be infected, you know, you do carelessness. I think that's it.
I think for me, what scares me is that of our understanding of the HIV AIDS, say, sometimes we see, I mean, we watch it on TV, we go through it ourselves, but the very next day we fall into the same patterns. A person agasabi uguba pregnant more than to get HIV and AIDS. A person would rather fall pregnant than actually HIV AIDS. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying? Oh, maybe you wanted to add something.
Yeah, you know what I think, ne? Since most of the girls by prevent, they think by preventing it's just for HIV and other things, but they don't really know what HIV is. I don't think on these campaigns they're actually explaining what HIV is and how you get HIV. I think people just think just by sharing needles or cutting, you know, isn't there?
But where do you guys HIV AIDS? Where do you get your information from? Because I know with me personally, I mean, especially when I was growing up, 12, 13, I think there would be people and then you'd be like, oh, okay, that's it. AIDS and whatever and done. But it's interesting to find out from you guys, Nina, where do you find your source of information?
For me, according to the subject LO, as a well-known subject, whereby sikhuluma yonke into kuyakhulunywa ngezifo ezahlukahlukene kukhulunywe nakugcina sekufaka nayo ingculazi lapho ngithole khona nanokuthi ngihambe ngema library ngiyobheka information ngaso lesi sifo ngoba sifika lesi sifo lesafike siyisifo nje esimangazayo wonke umuntu wayesaba yabo kwangiphoqelela ukuthi kumele ukuthi ngazi more ngaso.
Umuntu onjani othola HIV AIDS? Let me go back to ukuthi umuntu onjani othola HIV AIDS?
It can be anybody, because sometimes ungasho ukuthi uya protector through sex kodwa ukwazi ukuthi uyithole ngokuthi uzosebenzisa i-toothbrush yomunye umuntu, uyithole ngokuthi usiza omunye umuntu onama wounds ungafakanga ama gloves. Uyithole sometimes ngokuthi uzohlatshwa ispikili esihlabe umunye umuntu onengculazi yabo kanjalo nje.
Okay, all right.
And mother to child transmission.
Mother to child transmission as well. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us on Sisters. I mean, unfortunately, our time is up for the first segment, but you know, this is a topic that's very close to our hearts, like with Sisters. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Guys, we still have more to speak about after the break. So, ninganyagas.